Yeah, that's where I'm struggling because
I don't know.
I've seen the videos of the inside of the shelter.
Yeah.
And they actually made me cry because it was a reality check for me.
Heather, can I get you to hold on for a couple of minutes? I got a newscast, and I want you to be able to say this and have the city hear it. Can you hold on for a few minutes for me?
Absolutely.
All right. Heather lives in the Russell Street area. She's one of the neighbors of this new shelter, and her voice is going to be heard. Somebody try to stop me? Go for it. Take your best shot. Nobody's managed to so far. What do you think your chances are? Quick break. Back after this.
Now, Adam Stirling on CFAX 1070.
I had to take that break for the newscast, but Heather, I didn't want to just end the call right there because I wanted you to be able to be heard. Heather lives in the Russell Street area near the new transitional shelter that opened up this week. Our Place Society holding that opening earlier this week. We haven't seen any marked change in crime and disorder in the area yet. I hope that we don't see it. It's possible we will. Heather, you mentioned a video that you saw with respect to the opening that actually brought you to tears. What happened?
Well, it's the video that Our Place Society put out, and it was showing all of the pods.
Yeah.
And they're tiny. And it just kind of hit me that, like, the people who are moving to the shelter are the ones who really, really, really need to be in the shelter.
Yeah.
And so it softened me. It made me realize, okay, if I were in the position where I were living in a pod like that, then I would really need to be there. So it kind of, this move-in has been for the residents. I mean, a lot of my neighbors, we've been doing our best to kind of put aside any kind of fear that we have or any kind of confusion or frustration that we have and just recognize that these are people who are really needing some help. So we've been saying hello. We've gone over and talked to the staff at the shelter, and I have to say they're lovely. Like, the staff people there are lovely, and I really think that they care about being good community members and neighbors. So I have nothing but positive things to say about the staff there. The residents arriving, it was tough on the neighborhood, mostly because we didn't have a whole lot of preparation, and a lot of the neighbors are scared and concerned about what's to come. But all you can do is wait and see at this point. Yeah. And it's also really frustrating because I think that we felt supported by BC Housing and the province to just kind of ensure that our properties were able to have the appropriate security upgrades.
Yeah, and that's important. That's very important.
It's so important. But if we were able to have those, we would just have that kind of, the saying, good fences make good neighbors, right? If we were able to have those things in place, then it would be a little bit different. But, I mean, a number of our neighbors are not in a financial position to do that. Yeah. And keep me in mind, we only found out about this for sure on, confirmed, was the very end of March. So we've not had any time to do the proper 3 quotes and install these things, whereas BC Housing has had, I'm going to say, going on 4 months now to prepare for this. So, I mean, the process has been just infuriating. Yeah. But Our Place is good.
Our Place is one of the best, if not the best, service provider in the city. I've covered this issue for a long time. I have been critical of some of the players in the system at times, and I also want to give credit where credit is due. In my experience, Our Place consistently has been one of the good ones, and they have a difficult job set before them. It's nearly impossible to deal with all of the issues that they're faced with at times, but I find that they are among the most conciliatory and, quite frankly, frankly honest. Like, Grant McKenzie right now is doing communications with our place. I have seen him out there being open and honest and compassionate and at times when necessary, not blunt, but frank. Yeah, there are some problems. There are some rough folks that are around here. There are issues with criminals trying to prey on vulnerable persons who would otherwise be in the shelters. That's one of the reasons our place has a policy where you're not allowed to bring guests into your room, because that is a way that criminals and predators could either get their way into the room of a vulnerable person or have a criminal or a predator who uses their room to prey on other vulnerable people. Now, I want to be very clear. Any person who is caught doing anything like that in a shelter, I absolutely expect that they will lose that shelter as a necessary consequence of their actions, and I hope that they don't have the ability to 24/7 camp somewhere else. They can find another city that perhaps will be more lenient to them, but it's not going to be this one, because we have standards and we protect our vulnerable citizens, Heather.
Yeah, and as we should.
Yeah. I'm not going to coddle criminals. I don't care. Like, if somebody's poor and they're down and out and they're having mental health and addictions problems, all right, let's give that person health care. Let's give that person supports. But if it's a criminal taking advantage of us, making us suckers, I am done paying for those people to hurt other people. No more. They can find another city that isn't, or that's dumber than we are, that will help provision that sort of